Is this good enough?
Yeah, should be fine. Can you talk? Here you can talk. Checking, checking. Okay, I think we're live. We are live indeed, actually. I can see myself there.
We're really live now.
Yes, it is live.
Wow, it's amazing.
It is fantastic.
And your friends in the US are having.
I don't know. I don't know who's on. We'll see. For now, no one. But we're recording it.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
That's
That's
okay.
fine.
No
That's
worries.
fine.
We don't care. Awesome. So we are live on the IoT Show. The cameras are here up there,
Yep.
right? And we're going to do some interviews tonight at the Things Conference 2025. It's a very good event. Lots of people. Vinke is here to tell us more about it. So Vinke, how are you, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Yeah, thanks. It's we had a great day, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
So how many people are at the event?
So we have 2,000 registrations.
Okay.
Some people 1 day, some people 2 days, but this is the biggest event ever.
This is big. Yeah, I think it's going to become the IoT event.
Yeah.
I have the feeling. Because now
so.
you're merging more than just lower one people, right?
Yeah.
So tell me more about that.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we started with a kind of like a manifest or like a description on what we liked as an IoT conference.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like everything that a corporate marketing department doesn't like. That's what we try to push. So we try to push for instance, if you look at our speaker manifest, the number one rule is that don't talk about yourself or your company, talk about the problem that your company, of course, is solving.
Yeah.
And what then is the solution, and then go to the product. And I think we've always been kind of very rigid on a few things. So like these are our values, and I think that's why people love the conference.
I'm with you 200%. I mean, as a matter of fact, that's what I'm doing for the IoT show.
Yeah.
When people come over, it's like no marketing or product marketing. It's about the problems, about the customers, and there are many problems to solve, right?
Yeah.
So there are a few things that are new or recent with the Things Industries. Can you share a little bit
Yeah,
about
no,
that?
so really with what one of the things that we've done basically over the last 3 years and have seen is that our customers have grown from hundreds of the devices to 10,000 devices. Now customers are growing to 1 million devices, and they all require kind of different approaches, right? Like one kind of 100 devices, UI is nice.
Yeah.
At 1 million, everything is API or command line driven. So I think what we did and what we always did is that we always try to align our product services with the maturity of the ecosystem, and this is why we hooked on and become one of the leaders in the LoRaWAN world. And this is what we did over the last few years, and every kind of scale in IoT has their own TCO pitfalls. Like there's all these kind of things that can all of a sudden spiral your TCO out of control, which didn't happen at 1,000, but it happens at 10,000.
Yeah.
And I think our platform just keeps growing. So that's
Yeah,
good.
great, 200%. So there's a lot of sessions. Hey,
He's next.
You're next.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of sessions about Edge AI today that happened, right? So tell me about the alignment between Edge AI and the world of network connectivity for IoT devices.
Yeah, I think the industry is in a phase where that's it's in an exploration kind of phase where basically in general low power enterprise IoT means lower total cost of ownership.
Yeah.
And Edge AI is one of the tools to make sure that already these resource constrained devices only use their resources for optimal things. So, for instance, filtering data, like you don't many times.
We're getting hijacked.
Oh wow, like overtake, and so one is like the very concrete thing is filtering is like not sending data that you already at the edge is not relevant.
Yeah.
So that is all within the realm of constrained devices, right? Like if you have a really big data pipe, Edge AI works with something else.
Yeah.
But also conclusions, right? Like I could have a constrained device at a camera, but I only say like, what am I seeing, right? And just describe it. So I think there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff I went with Pete, the kind of CEO of the Edge AI Foundation, to Milan as well. And
Yeah.
one of the things that I saw there is Edge AI integrated in sensors
Okay.
by even looking only at the analog signal, and then basically make these these sensors more accurate or understand much more complex
Yeah.
kind of things by just analyzing the
Yeah,
analog.
and everything happens at the edge with the data staying private,
Yeah.
staying secure, and you're just sending the inference, the insights, right? So that means lower one is even more relevant because you send a little bit of data,
Yeah.
which is I recognize someone, or there's been an event,
Yeah.
or quality is down on this particular
Yeah.
thing.
And it took a long time. So it's funny thing that Edge AI was launched, and again, when they founded the company, the official launch was at the Things Conference 2019.
I remember that.
Yeah, you were
I
there,
remember
right?
Zach,
Yeah.
Zach and
Here,
Aaron
here,
were there.
and it was in a bar.
Yeah, I remember that really well, actually.
No, we're
thank you.
good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're getting hijacked by the guys serving food. So you see, we are still live, and that's the proof, right, that we're live.
Yeah, we're live.
So last one before we get Luca or someone else to join us.
Yeah.
So we are seeing the Wi-Fi Foundation. We have Bluetooth people. We have LoRa Alliance. There's the Edge AI Foundation. So we're basically covering a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
How do you see next year's The Things Conference?
Yeah, so if you look at it right now and the interest that it has and the vibe that's here, I got one partner that is selling. Let's keep it private, but they sell chips that are wireless, and they said when I'm here, 70% of the leads I write down have a really relevant follow-up.
Okay.
Because we have your systems integrators, and I think that is what we want to maintain. And then maybe we can grow from 2 to 3 to 4,000. But I think at the core, this is still our side project.
Yeah.
And we really want
I
to.
like when you put that together. It's a side project.
Yeah. And what we really want to maintain is these values. And the objective is for us is not to become like an event of 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Our objective is that I would love my partners to say, okay, I meet people here, and 7 out of 10, I will have a relevant meeting in the next few weeks. And I think if that's something we can facilitate, I'm a happy person.
Good. Well, the call is done. Like people have heard you. And well, thanks for tuning in. Vinke, we'll certainly see you later in the event.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for joining. Guys, stay online. I'm going to try and grab our next guest here on the IoT Show Live. Stay tuned.
Cool. See ya.
And we are back. Thanks for staying online, guys. This is the IoT Show. I'm always pointing there, but the camera is down there. It's like, whatever. I'm not very good at this. Am I?
It's all right.
Learning, right? So I have Luca with me. Luca has presented a very nice session, but before we get into what it was about, let's have you introduce yourself. Who are you? What are you doing in life?
Sure. So my name is Luca Mustafa. I run a company called Irnas. We do connected product development. I'm really engineer by trade, by training, and I love building stuff, connected wireless things, and that's my day job, hobby, all in one.
Yeah. So let me ask you. So I do work a lot with customers trying to use and implement IoT, and it's hard for them to understand what pieces need to be put in place, implemented, what protocol to use, what hardware to use, what platform to use. And do you agree that for every single customer it's different? There's no one size fits all?
Sure. Yeah. So it's mostly driven by the added value you want to create in the project. and then you pick up the most suitable set of components that bring you there.
Okay.
But oftentimes you don't know what that is, and also you don't know what the added value of the application is. So you just need to go out and do a first generation of product, which I will say it's very likely it will be wrong. So by third generation, you will be way more on track.
True.
So you should just go about doing it.
Yeah. And is it true that like starting small was like a small objective of adding value or providing value versus trying to do it all? Because I've seen many customers, especially
Sure.
when I was at Microsoft, Microsoft were trying to sell the end-to-end stack.
Yeah,
to start
the
with,
magic
like,
big
which is
thing.
like magic, like put everything in.
Exactly.
So when we were doing it, it was working because we knew all our stack really well. Right?
Yes.
But then it was not always fit, at least not everywhere. And so that's something that I learned, early on, that you need to not try to do it all. Start small, start with a few devices, maybe don't do over-the-air updates to start with. Just have like regular physical updates, and then enhance your product V2, V3, adding the features. You had a talk super interesting, right? About details, about corner cases almost, right? Can you tell us a
Yes.
bit about this talk?
Yeah, so today I talked mostly about timing distribution through LoRaWAN. So
Yeah.
particularly how to get devices, say accelerometers, wirelessly synchronized to about 1 microsecond precision one to the other, meaning that when you put them on a bridge and the bridge shakes, you get the data all at the same time.
Yeah, which is actually an interesting point because I remember I started my career as an embedded developer, and we needed to have a timestamp on every single piece of data, and so we needed to have an actual sync on the clock for the device that didn't have any battery, so it was reset in terms of timing every single time it was booting.
Indeed.
But we had network connectivity, so we could connect to an NTP server and get a time that was precise enough so that we could actually now put a stamp on the data. But as you were saying, now we're talking about multi-sensor or sensor fusion scenarios where you need to have an even more granular, I would say, precision on that synchronization of timing, right?
Yeah, so that really depends on the application. So generally, if you had just sensors reporting, it's fine to have, let's say, a second or minute accuracy in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
What we're talking about here is you have microsecond accuracy because you really care about the phase offset between individual samples between the sensors which are distributed.
Yeah.
Because with that, we can calculate the propagation time of a vibration through mechanical structure.
Yeah.
We can even measure the propagation time of an RF signal across an open space, which just speed of light type of thing. So that allows you to do things like modal analysis, like really advanced analysis.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Let me ask you, change of topic here, AI. Edge AI versus cloud AI. Like typically for the bridge story, is it useful to have algorithms, machine learning algorithms running at the edge, or is it fair to say for this kind of scenarios we send all the data to the cloud and have inference up there? Like, do you have a perspective on that?
Sure. So in most cases, I would say put everything to the cloud if you can, at least initially, because developing algorithms in the cloud is a lot easier, a lot better, a lot faster. And then if you have a power problem, a connectivity problem, and all of that, you try to take those working algorithms and put them on the edge device. Because the challenge is mostly when people say, hey, I want this to put directly on the edge device, it's just so hard. Like, you don't have the data. So what we've seen also in cases where we build the edge device with the device, but for all anomalies, you send raw data, which you stick into another model, which classifies the type of the anomaly. And
Makes sense. Yeah.
that really works.
Yeah. So it's
Very
more
well.
of a mix, basically, right? So if you guys have issues with the videos, I'm going to fix that just after. Don't worry about it. Luca, thanks a lot for showing up today.
Yeah, thank you very
And
much.
see you
Appreciate
around.
it.
Have a good one. Cheers. So people, I'm going to fix the video and I'll be back. almost there. So we're back. Hi, everyone.
Everyone.
Sorry for those who are online and we lost the video. We are back here. We are also recording, so we're going to publish that afterwards. I'm with Rob Spurt. Rob?
So I'm Rob Spur. I'm from Lacuna Space, and we do satellite IoT. So I'm here to tell you all about how you can get your LoRa devices connected, no matter where remote you are in the world. We will be able to find you. We will be able to connect that device, get that information, that data, and get it back to you.
Nice, nice. Do you see more and more customers asking for satellite as their primary connection means, or maybe secondary?
Yeah, so it kind of depends on the use case. I mean, if somebody's in a remote place where there's no connectivity, there's very little power or whatever, they kind of come to us as the primary case. We get some other instances where, say, somebody's moving around. So they may generally be in places where there's lots of connectivity, but they just move somewhere else where there's no connection. And in those cases, they'll like to have us as a fallback solution. And yeah, that works well for us. I mean, our system was designed from day one to be interoperable with terrestrial networks. So the whole idea was that we weren't a competition, we were a complement. It was how can we reach and stretch the connectivity into those places where there isn't any at the moment.
What would you say are the most surprising scenarios or use case from customers? Things that you're just like, what, really? You want to do that?
Yeah, I mean, there are just so many things that fall into this category. I normally turn around and say to people,
anecdotes. We want anecdotes. Come on, good stories, Bob.
Yeah,
that's what we're looking for.
It's sort of stuff where you turn around and say, like, you know, there's nothing you can come up with that I haven't heard before.
Okay.
And instantly, there's something new comes. So, you know, I give you one good case. We were talking about the fact that the satellites go over the poles of the Earth, and so the Earth rotates underneath. So you get really good coverage at the poles of the Earth. We said, but there's nothing there that anybody really wants to monitor. And immediately somebody says, but I've got a load of penguins I count. And it's like, oh, okay, I never thought of that. So, yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of interesting cases, sort of tracking nature, tracking wildlife in various places. There's a lot of environmental cases of water pollution monitoring. But the most surprising thing isn't necessarily the application, but it's actually the motivation for doing it. So sometimes you imagine, like, well, say in the case of water monitoring, what's the motivation? We all want good quality water, but actually the people who are prepared to pay for the data were the people who are issuing planning permissions and who are actually sort of consenting for planning. So they wanted to know, well, if I put a new development here, how much will it degrade the water? Will it affect all the people downstream? So we get many instances of that. And
no, fantastic. So the question I have, so Edge AI is a topic that comes again and again, which is great. I love the topic and I think it's really relevant. In the context of satellite connectivity, I have this like idea that at some point will satellite eventually become compute units that could run some level of AI up there?
Yeah, it could do, absolutely. In fact, there are people working on that. I mean, you could, oh wow, that's a multi-layered question. It says, so without doubt. I mean, the interesting bit that's going on at this conference is, of course, we're focused on IoT, which is generally very small messages. So the way we describe it to people is it's like devices tweeting, information. But if you can put AI into the edge, you can turn around and say, okay, let me use that previous example, the penguins. You can count the number of penguins in the field of view, and you can tweet the answer, which is a binary answer of, it's 10,324 or whatever it is. So you can make the message small and you can communicate the information. But there is an awful lot going on, but it's not really our thing. And it's not really the IoT world where you take mass data up to a satellite, say Earth observation imagery, and then you process it on the satellite to get the results that you take back down. But I mean, AI, it's the same for us as it is for everybody in the rest of the world. It's turning things upside down. It's making us think in completely different ways.
Totally agreed. Awesome. Rob, well, thanks for stopping by. That was neat.
Thank you very much.
Super interesting topics. We'll see you maybe at some point on the IoT show again for a
Hope
longer
so.
episode.
Would love
with some
to do
demos,
so.
something like that.
Absolutely.
Let's stay in touch.
Show you.
Everyone stay in touch as well, and we'll get the next guest.
Thank you.
Okay, and we are back here on the IoT Show live from the Things Conference 2025 in Amsterdam. I have my friend Sander with me. How are you, man? You're local.
Yes, I am. I'm living in the area of Eindhoven in the Netherlands.
So we never had you on the IoT Show. How is that possible?
Never. I have no
I
clue
feel
why.
so bad.
Once I've been in the studio where the
Yes.
recordings were done, but you were not there.
I was not there, and were you on camera or not?
No, of course not.
Well, there you go. You're
I
on
only had
camera.
the pictures.
You're on
Hello,
camera.
everybody.
It's even better. We're no longer Microsoft. We're independent. We both are MVPs though.
Yes,
For
yes,
Azure
yes.
IoT, right?
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank
for
you. My
your-
first MVP title.
Ooh.
Appreciate. Yeah, and you're on your how many?
It's now 9 years ago that I became a Microsoft MVP on IoT, Internet of Things. So that's on 1st of January 2017. So it was New Year's Eve.
Gosh.
I was at my parents' house. We ate oliebollen, a treat on New Year's Eve. So I almost choked in it because I got an email
At the moment,
saying,
oh,
congratulations, you're an MVP now.
gosh. That's a nice story.
And my wife said, put the telephone away. You're at your parents' house. You're not reading your email right now. So
yes, I am.
that was really cool. And 2 years ago, I also got a dual MVP on real-time intelligence.
Okay, yeah, we're going to talk about that. Super interesting. So
Okay.
Microsoft Fabric, real-time intelligence. So there's a trend with hyperscaler focusing more on data, right? Data
Yes.
pipeline, heavy edge sometimes, but mostly the data because they want to make money on data analytics and storage and compute, right?
Well, data, that is where the value is.
True, true. So Microsoft has the solution called Microsoft Fabric, which is basically the SaaS do-it-all for anything data
Yeah.
on Azure. And now there's a portion of features called real-time intelligence. Tell me a bit about that.
It is. Well, if we do one step back, Microsoft is providing a IoT platform on their cloud environment. That means they have a gateway, they have data streaming through the cloud, and from there it's put in, for example, a database, a timeshares database, and they have alerting with logic apps to send alerts to, well, hundreds of connectors, from email teams to, well, you can have a ticketing system behind it.
Yeah.
That part is also part of Microsoft Fabric. So with the ease of use of a browser, a low-code or no-code environment, the users can build let's say a basic IoT platform using the same tools, but then in Fabric. So there's ingestion of the data with a event stream.
Okay.
It's forwarded to, for example, a event house, which is the time series database.
Okay.
On top of the time series database, you can put dashboarding, which
Okay.
is Power BI, or the real-time dashboard, which is part of Azure Data Explorer, but it's also part of that event house.
Okay.
And you can even put Grafana on top of it.
Okay. So you pick which one you prefer.
Yeah, just pick and choose what you need.
Yeah.
And finally, if you want to have alerting, there's something called an activator, where you can send data to, and it's checked if it's meets some condition,
Okay.
and then it's sent to either as a email or as a Teams channel message, or you can actually do a feedback loop that it activates other Fabric resources.
Okay. Can you
It's
also
there.
set an event on event stream?
The event stream can get data from outside the world, like an IoT hub or some database with change data capture, and it can send data into Fabric, but it can also send those messages to the outside world.
Okay.
Because it basically exposes a Kafka or an event hub endpoint. It's so flexible and just in the browser. So somebody who has knowledge about data engineering and basic knowledge about Azure, they can do it themselves.
I see. So do you feel that transformed the approach to IoT solutions, right? Because IoT was a lot about the device management, connectivity, and so on. It feels to me that RTI, so real-time intelligence in Fabric, is kind of like taking over a lot of things. There is no device management at this point in there, right? You have to have a solution to connect your device and manage them, right?
It's a generic solution for working with time series data, with events, with observations, immutable facts, and that can be telemetry. And well, we are doing IoT mostly, so for us, working with telemetry is something, and with those facts and events, that's something we did already 10 years ago. But it's basically a generic pattern for following devices, but also for following humans or persons, like in shops, or financial data, logging, security audits, etc.
So interestingly, that means the IoT story is part of the broader story for data.
Yes,
right?
it is.
It's no longer its own thing on the side.
And I always say I have a 10-year experience already built up on real-time stuff.
True. Yeah, and there are some features like digital twin or maps that are recently have been added to the RTI stack, right?
Yeah, the story of RTI is not complete yet. There's still new stuff being integrated.
Okay.
Last week there was the Fabric conference in Vienna in Europe, and there Azure Fabric Digital Twin Builder was introduced again, and we got a broader perspective on it because they also integrated it with the Azure Graph, a graph database, which is really cool.
Okay.
And I've seen also the use of Fabric Maps, which is Azure Maps, but then put on top of tables, put on top of files, and put on top of real-time data with all the layers. Oh, it was beautiful. So
How are we getting excited by announcements like that, right?
It's in public preview, or will be in public preview in a couple of weeks.
That's pretty cool.
But we will have the Ignite in a couple of months. So back at that moment, it will be really there.
Yeah, cool. I look forward to that. Also,
yeah.
Well, Sander, tell me about a project you're excited about, you're working on these days, that you can talk about.
I'm working on a couple of projects right now. Let me pick one. I'm working on a digital twins environment.
Okay.
It's not yet based on Fabric Digital Twins Builder, because for me it was too immature because the lack of that graph database. So we started a couple of months with still Azure Digital Twins, but we wrapped everything. So we put an API around everything. So once that graph will be there, we will take out the engine, put new engine in, and it probably
It's just gonna work.
Yeah,
It's just gonna work.
and of course, together with the customer, we decided on that, and that will be really great
Well-
if we get it working.
Well, you know what?
And we got some attention from Microsoft also about it.
Okay. Yeah, Microsoft guys, I think they're pretty excited about the stories and the actual real life scenarios that customers are bringing, that we are bringing to customers. Because basically, we're the ones implementing these solutions at customers. I'm starting to play around with all of that as well, because customers, when they're asking for a solution, they're not asking for an IoT solution. They're asking for a data solution for data coming from their assets.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so they are
that's true.
like actually primarily, especially in the industrial world, saying, hey, I've got like historians, tons of data. I don't do anything from that. Can you put them in context and allow me to analyze that? And Fabric is great for that. And when we tell them with the same platform, later on you'll be able to inject real-time data that will feed a model, and you'll have a graph to access the data with the builder.
Yeah.
They're just like, okay, done. So they sign immediately because
Yeah.
that's awesome.
The most important takeaway for me for the last couple of months or the last couple of years is that I've always worked with the real-time data.
Yeah.
But real-time data itself does not directly have meaning if there's no context added to it.
Yes.
And with the current tooling that we have, where we can have daily updates or weekly updates, which is the context data, like an ontology, if we put that together with the real-time data from weight scales or from ship sensors or whatever, then we get purpose and then we get value. So
Okay.
those streams, putting them together, perfect.
Okay, perfect. You heard Sander. Perfect. Perfect. Sander, thanks a lot for coming today. Glad to see you. Glad that I finally got you on the IoT show. Audio might be a bit hard for people to listen. I'll see if I can do some post-processing before we publish. But it was great to have you here. Thanks for tuning in, people. I'll be back with my next guest, so don't go away. I'll be back. We are back. You need a microphone. That's your microphone. I'm glad you're here. You have to keep me in check, right? And excuse me, people, I'm going to do one last thing. There you go. It'll be you. Okay. And here I'm back.
All right.
Yeah, so this camera, we'll see how it works. It's not great. Oops, okay. And we're recording right now. I have no one, but people might come back. We'll see.
Back in action.
Back in action. Yeah, camera's working. Okay. Let's do this. Pete,
Yes.
thanks for joining me
Good to
here.
see you again.
Good to see you again.
Yes.
Feels like it's not the first time you're on the IoT show.
No, yes,
Yeah.
it's a regular gig, right?
You are CEO at the end. It is, right? And you have your own show as well.
Yes.
You actually are online with the Edge AI Foundation a lot.
Yes. All the time.
Lots is happening.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Edge
So tell
AI
me.
is, we're having a moment.
The moment, is it good? Or it's like
It's a good moment. No, I mean the idea here was to bring the Edge AI community into the LoRaWAN community in this, low power wireless, low power AI kind of communities coming together. So it's been great response. You've had a number of workshops today and panels, keynotes, and kind of cross pollinating, topics.
Yeah.
And,
And interestingly, I didn't hear anyone say that they were surprised to see the Edge AI Foundation here and Edge AI
Right.
sessions.
right.
People find it almost normal, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's our AI for the world of embedded,
Yeah,
right?
I know, and it's like, it's a friendly audience, right? Everyone's bought into like the power of low power edge computing,
Yes.
what you can do with it, and I think a lot of these folks, working on the radio side, but now it's like obviously doing AI workloads in these kind of low power edge environments makes sense. So
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of interest in learning more about it. Like I think next year we're going to do more hands-on labs and more things here, more educational things. But yeah, we had a bunch of partners here. We had about 10 companies or so show up, and I've heard good things, and it's a nice party. It's Amsterdam. It's the fall. There's no
Can't go
complaints.
wrong. It's not raining.
Not raining,
It's not raining.
so it's all good.
People are happy. So tomorrow is going to be the second day. We had lots of session on Edge AI today.
Yes.
There were about some concrete discussion about use cases, some warnings about, hey, you need to be careful on how you implement it.
Yeah.
Take care of the hardware.
The
Make
data,
sure you pick the
data quality.
data quality, the DOS updates, CRA compliance.
That's
Super
right.
important. And what are the things that really, marked you that you thought were the most interesting or relevant during today's sessions?
Let's see. Interesting and relevant in today's sessions.
Besides yours.
Yes, obviously, that's why I was thinking about mine. I was actually on like 4 panels today,
Wow.
plus the keynote.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So I felt like I sort of said everything I could possibly say about this space. But one of the interesting things, and we kind of need to explore this too, is like, how does AI help radios? So we're starting to see, like, we have a partner, Corvo, that's doing some pretty cool, like, AI workloads inside the radios themselves.
Okay.
And like, what was cool is that we had a partner here called EMAS, who's doing a low power processor, and they have implemented it into drones.
Okay.
And it's actually manipulating the drone propellers and optimizing the drone propellers.
Okay.
And it's getting like 50 to 80% more flight time by using
Then-
AI
then
workloads.
just rules,
They just
like that.
brute force turn the propeller on.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a furnace that like has variable temperature stuff. So that was pretty cool. It's like, how do we take AI and implement it in things that are either, like right now, either full blast on or off,
Yes.
and make them like a little more smarter and more
Yeah.
efficient.
Yeah, exactly.
So I
Or
think
replace the traditional deterministic programming where we can do a certain level of control
Right,
based on known scenarios,
right.
but ML can then start adapting to new scenarios,
Yeah,
new
and,
use cases. and so
it's
on,
like the
right?
Nest thermostat. It's like, in the house, like your dad would always turn the thermostat down, and like your mom would turn it up and all that stuff. Now it's like, just let the AI take care of it.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch.
Well, yeah, someone still touches it.
Someone's
It's like, no trust.
But yeah, so seeing like AI in some of these systems that used to be pretty static, I think we're going to start to see them be more dynamic and smarter and get more efficiency out of it. So that was pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Pete, we're going to get a new guest here. Thanks a lot for
Sounds
stopping by.
good.
I really appreciate
I would
your time.
encourage folks who are in the Taiwan area or are interested in Taiwan to go to our event November 11th in Taipei.
Okay.
Go there.
Don't miss that.
And that's on there. And then, and then the other thing is our YouTube channel. So
We'll put the links down there.
put the link in there.
Okay.
And, just lean in.
Awesome.
Cool, man.
Hey,
Good to see you.
see you later.
All right.
Thanks. Don't run off with my microphone.
Okay. I have to give you your microphone back.
Okay. Okay, we are indeed live. What is that? Okay, there we go. We're back on the IoT Show at the Things Conference 2025. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching if it's on demand. Dan, thanks for coming back to the IoT Show because you already were here. It's been some time.
Yes.
You came to the IoT Show to talk about Walter.
Yes.
So we want an update. How is Walter doing?
Walter is doing great.
Yes.
Yeah. Walter is really we started out small.
Yeah.
Like when we first talked, Walter was ready to be launched on Crowd Supply.
Yeah.
The launch is now behind us, and we're now seeing that people are really developing things with Walter, which is
Nice.
great to see. We see all kinds of different products out in the field. Like we're seeing Walter on boats, Walter on chicken coops, Walter on railway systems. It's fantastic to see what people are developing. Yeah.
So tell people who are not familiar, they might go and watch the first video, but tell us about the actual state. What is Walter and why are people using it?
Yeah. Walter is a multi-radio IoT module where we combine an ESP32S3, which gives you Wi-Fi and Bluetooth low energy, together with a Sequence Monarch 2, which gives you LTE-M, narrowband IoT, and GNSS all in one module.
Okay.
And what's nice about that is that you can create what we call custom off-the-shelf hardware.
Okay.
So what does that mean? That means that when you have an IoT idea, you need to start designing some hardware. But when you want to bring your idea to market, that typically involves some engineering costs and some certification costs. But when your company doesn't have a good prediction for its volumes, you typically have volumes of a few hundreds. Oh, you need my microphone. Okay.
Okay, guys, we're gonna redo some of that.
Okay.
Okay, so stay there, because
should I restart something or?
Yeah, we'll restart.
Okay.
That's okay. Sorry for that person who was online right now. Let's redo that.
Okay. No problem.
No problem. Everyone, this is the IoT Show. You're live from the Things Conference 2025. The sound behind is the party going on. So if you hear us, all good. If not, I'm going to clean that up after, and it's going to get better. We have Dan here. Dan, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine.
Again? Good to see you. We'll redo that, no problem. So Dan, you came to the IoT Show already some time ago to talk about Walter.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
And you gave us like a description what it was. How is Walter doing?
Walter is doing great. Yeah. So when we first talked, Walter was ready to be launched on Crowd Supply.
Yeah.
Today the launch is far behind us, and we are a few months further in the story.
Yeah.
And we see that multiple projects are being developed with Walter, and it goes from smart lighting, railway systems, chicken coops, and it's fantastic to see that people are picking up Walter to develop their projects with.
Yeah. So before I ask you why they pick Walter and why they pick you versus other solutions that are out there, remind people who might not have seen it, what is Walter?
Well, Walter is actually a multi-radio IoT module. So with Walter, we combine an ESP32 S3 that gives you Wi-Fi and Bluetooth Low Energy with a Sequence Monarch 2, and that gives you LTE Cat M1 and narrowband IoT and also GNSS, all in one module that's pre-certified.
So what is it good to you?
Yeah.
Because there are alternatives with multi-RAN solutions out there, right?
Exactly. You have multiple modules that do wireless. So why Walter? That's a really good question. So when you have an IoT solution that you want to build, you typically need to have a business case. That's important. And then you need to start thinking about, okay, what volumes am I going to produce? And that's a really important one. If you have a volume of 1 a year, then you're typically going to buy something off the shelf and you're going to modify the software on it, and then you're good to go. If you have something that's going to start 50,000 pieces a year, then you can go fully custom, and you have a long design phase, you have some certification costs that are quite high, and it's a long trajectory. But there is something in between, and that's something that's difficult to solve. And that's exactly where Walter fits in. And that's what we call custom off the shelf.
Okay.
Yeah. And what do we mean by that? You can create something that's completely customized to your needs. You pick the peripherals that you need, you pick the software that you need, and you use Walter as your application processor and your radio module. You plug that on your custom carrier board, and you only need to do some simple certification that doesn't cost a lot, and you're ready to go on the market. And that's exactly where we fit in with Walter.
Do you help customers with any software or whatever on Walter itself, like on your particular proprietary stuff?
Yeah, so we have two ways of helping our customers with the software. The most easy and straightforward way is that we have lots of open source libraries that come with Walter. They're on GitHub for Arduino, MicroPython, ESP-IDF, and Zephyr. They're officially supported, just free to download. And if customers want something more, they can come to us to help write their software for them.
Okay, cool, awesome. So Walter is not just hardware. No. Actually, at the end of the day, you guys are helping beyond just the hardware itself.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a cool thing, because that's how we learn about the business cases of our customers, if they want us so. Because in the end, it's all about owning your software stack. Because that's also really important when we're talking about custom off the shelf. When you're buying something off the shelf, you typically don't get enough features. You get too much features, and you don't have any guarantees about longevity. When you're doing something custom off the shelf, you have complete ownership of your software stack, and you have guarantees about the longevity. And you need to have the same guarantees for your software stack as well. So that's something that we can solve with Walter software as well.
What's your favorite project leveraging Walter, like that one of customers is actively using and developing?
I think I need to pick the birth monitor for horses. So that's something that we connect horses to the internet. That's something that's, every time I say it, I need to start laughing again.
Well, you know what? That's funny you're saying that, because one of the first demos we had when I was with Azure IoT was connected cows.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. So, So we use Walter to monitor the temperature of a horse. And based on that temperature, we can predict when the horse is going to give birth. And it's so tangible, because in the end, that means that the customers of our customer, they don't need to sleep in the stable for 14 days. So that's a perfect example of a working business case that don't go into 100,000 pieces a year.
And require having connectivity, whether it's like Wi-Fi in the stable or whether it's like cellular when it's outside.
Exactly.
Perfect. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for stopping
Thank
by.
you so much for having me.
Sorry for the hiccup at the beginning.
No
And
problem.
thanks for telling the story again.
Thank
Okay,
you.
guys, stay tuned. I'll be back in 1 minute with someone else. Okay, we're back here at the Things Conference 2025. We're live from the party, so the music behind us is what we're going to go back to after, right? But for now, we talk IoT, we talk Eclipse Foundation tonight. So today, how are you, man?
It's good to be with you again. It's been a while since the last time I've been on the show.
Definitely.
And it's great to see you for the first time in person, I think.
True, actually, we
absolutely.
never got to.
Yeah.
That's the new world, man. That's the new world. But we get to see each other. There's a party.
Yes.
Like things are going pretty well over here.
Yeah.
So how are things going at the Eclipse Foundation?
Oh, we are busy and really not just in my domain, of course, embedded in IoT and everything that I touch, lots of action.
Yeah.
But if you look just outside of that, and we highlight that in our keynote at the conference tomorrow that I'm going with a colleague, there are things in SDV, there are things in open hardware now, which falls under my responsibility, exciting things happening. And of course, there's the whole CRA deal where we are heavily involved. We have a dedicated working group for that with unbearable name, whatever. but we are taking this pretty seriously, and the good thing is that we are federating lots of open source communities around this. So it's very rare you have a press release, by the Apache Foundation, the Eclipse Foundation, the Rust Foundation, and all of those guys coming together, and we're making it happen. So that's great. And CRA is really important for embedded and IoT people. So
it is important, and it is scary for those who realize how much they have to do to be compliant if they want to make business in Europe, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, the great thing about the way things are shaping up, of course, it's a change for the industry to start from, we wing it, we do whatever we want as we please, to a regulated industry. But there are good reasons for that. And when you just dig a bit deeper, you see that CRA compliance is mostly best security practices and things like that.
Yeah.
So you can benefit from that as a business, and you can benefit from working with open source foundations that take this really seriously. Like in our case, and I'm not saying we are the only ones taking this seriously, but I don't know what the others are doing. But in our case, we'll have an enhanced set of services that will really facilitate compliance for our open source projects.
Okay.
And this means, in turn, whoever consumes this or whoever builds commercial solutions around this gets an easier way to compliance as well. So I think everybody wins, because more secure software, independently of why we are shipping it, is a good thing.
That's pretty cool. And I was wondering, so there's many projects that you're overseeing. You were talking about more than just IoT, but you're overseeing like IoT stuff, right?
Yes.
What are the projects these days? Last time you came on the show to discuss ThreadX.
Yes.
That was contributed from Microsoft to the Eclipse Foundation, open source and so on. What are the projects that really have some community engagement that you're noticing in the IoT space.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, ThreadX is still not necessarily a standout because we were starting from scratch. So we are still busy building the community. But the good news, and I've got a worldwide, scoop for you. So we just decided. I was at the committee meeting right before this, and then I had to run.
We're the first scoop guys. We're live.
Scoop
and we're the scoop. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Exactly. So we decided. Officially, we'll be able to make our first of a series of quarterly release. We are adopting a quarterly release model. First one will be next week. And so, lots of good enhancements and security fixes are shipping in that one. And you see the needle, starting to going up. And of course, slowly, because it's a change for that particular ecosystem. They are not used to work in open source. That's why I ended up being the project lead now. So I'm whipping, herding those cats. But it's a great step. It's not, of course, a world-shattering release with 10,000 commits, but this is embedded, and this is safety certified embedded. So I think it's a good thing that we are not changing way too many things at once.
Agreed.
And then from that perspective, I'm literally meeting this week and next week with people in Europe, and we see people that say, "Oh, we want to, port ThreadX to our hardware and things like that." So lots of exciting things in the upcoming releases, and of course the next one after the one in September would be December. So
so ThreadX
is
starting to pick up.
Yeah, exactly.
Any other ones that you would say, hey, I'm noticing something happening there?
Oh yeah, one which is really great is Eclipse Theia, generally speaking, and it's getting more traction in embedded circles. So I was demoing once again this morning at the conference, a little friendly workshop, and we hand over boards and things like that. And I had Eclipse Theia on my screen to show my code. And I asked the people, this could have been VS Code, but there's a difference. Spot the difference. No one spots it. There's no Copilot button. Why? Because essentially Eclipse Theia is, mostly the same core components. But, there's no mandatory AI. You can have it if you want it. And the other thing, of course, is that there's no bad telemetry sent to commercial actors. We won't name here, but we all know who this is, right? And so this is truly pure open source, vendor neutral. And that we do in a way that really attracts attention, because you may be for or against AI, whatever. I think it's a personal opinion. Myself, I use it a bit on the side, nothing central. But the thing is, it should be a choice, not something mandated by commercial dictates that we need to push, something because we invested 200 billion in data centers. So from that perspective, Theia does things right because one, it's next generation as Visual Code, Studio Code is, and the other thing there is really, if you want AI, you have a choice. It can be Copilot if you like it. It can be ChatGPT. It can be Cloud. It can be the next agent that will come in 6 months that will revolutionize the industry. It doesn't matter. Really, the choice is yours, because essentially the way Theia implements Theia is that it's pluggable. So you plug whatever you want, and if you don't want it, you don't have it. And so for me, that's the perfect scenario where you use it if it makes sense for you, and if not, it's not imposed. So
that's on the dev tool side of things, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Anything on Edge AI per se?
Yeah, so we have two exciting projects in that space currently. One of them is Eclipse Edge, AIDGE. So, I know. That's what happens when you ask engineers to name a project.
Gosh, guys. Edge.
So we pronounce it Edge, and so people get confused, but we get to explain. Essentially, that one is really interesting. It comes from the CEA in France, so your national pride will be proud, I guess. But really, it's a great contribution and really cutting edge techniques about agent orchestration and AI orchestration. From that perspective, that one has a great community.
Is it like a container-based infrastructure?
No, it's more about how do you orchestrate agents according to specific workload requirements. So, from an AI perspective, not so much from it would be using containers and things like that, but it's at a higher level of abstraction. And so the other exciting one, and it was demonstrated close to here a few months ago by a community member, because we had an SDV community day in Rotterdam back in March, and I saw the demo live, and it was quite impressive. And it's Eclipse LMOS, LMOS.
Okay.
And this is a great contribution by Deutsche Telekom initially, but of course with a growing community, and the work that they are really doing is awesome. I strongly recommend watching the video we have from that March presentation during the SDB Community Day. But essentially, you could see how you can really shape those agent systems in order to support real use cases where they are useful. And so once again, this is not so specific. There's nothing proprietary behind it, but really it showcases the potential for AI to be actually useful rather than being a mechanism to sell us more something or show us more ads or those kind of boring things that we don't.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Fred, thank you very much for the update.
Well, thank you for the invite. It was really great to reconnect.
Always. Thank you, Fred.
Keep up the good work.
Everyone, stay tuned. I'm going to get the next guest. Bye.